Hi, I'm Brandi Barkum, and the skill I chose today is sprinting. So a lot of times you see runners out on the track, they have the speed, but they lack the form and technique. So I'm going to take knowledge of results, knowledge of performance, and proprioception, along with the degrees of freedom, to incorporate into improving a runner's form and technique as a sprinter. So I have my young novice here. She's going to go ahead and do a sprint for me. So go down. And ready, set, go. Okay, so right off the bat, what I noticed is that her trunk was forward, her head was down. She had a pretty decent arm swing, not enough hip drive. So we're gonna do the A skip, and we're gonna start slow. And I'm gonna walk her through the A skip so that she can get the form and the technique down. So I'm going to demonstrate first, because anytime you're teaching anyone, especially young kids, you want to be clear and direct as to what you expect from them when you're teaching them. And you also want to give visual cues. Most people learn really well by doing. So you talk it out to them and then demonstrate it. So I'm going from here. I'm going to walk her through the A skip. So you got a high form. Your knees are at 90 degrees. And when your arm swing moves, you should go from hip to lip with your arms, hip to lip. So, one. So when my left arm is up, my right hip is up. High knees and drive through. Trunk is straight, head is up and in neutral. Your core should be tight. Eyes forward. So I'm gonna come back, hip up, hip up. Notice that my feet are in dorsiflexion, meaning that they are bent back towards me. So when you come down on the balls of your foot, not on your toes. So I'm going to really demonstrate that performance. So walk through the A skip and go. Good, high knees. Good. Tighten your core a little bit. Okay, let's turn around, stop, gather yourself. Okay, so go ahead and go. Good form. So really demonstrated pretty good form. Head was up and erect. So now what we're going to do, we're going to stay with the A skip. We're going to take it up half a speed. So it's a skip, not a hop. Skip. A skip. Head up, head up, head up. Make sure you drive those knees. And when you're going through hip flexion, your hips are up at 90 degrees upright. So this is hip flexion. And this is the agonist. The antagonist is the hamstring muscles and the glute muscles on the back. And when you do a high hip, the hamstring muscles and that glute, they're fighting against the hip flexors. So you want to make sure you have high knees, quick movement, skip, proper form. And we're going to go at half speed. So try that half speed. Ready? And go. Skip. Head up. Good. Tighten your core. High knees. Pretty good. Come on back again. Skip. Breathe. Make sure you breathe. Good. So now she did that pretty well. Gave up your cues to let her know to keep her head up. Keep your core tight. When we see runners, we see arms and we see legs. We see arms and we see legs. But our core has to be strong, because you have to be upright and erect. So what we're going to do now, we're going to stay with the A skip at half a speed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply pressure to her trunk to keep her trunk forward. And this is, I'm trying to freeze a certain body part, which is her trunk. But we're also doing a bunch of things. It's resistive, so it also helps with improving her speed in the long run. But what I'm trying to do is, the more she leans towards on my hand, I'm trying to push her core back into neutral position so that she may stay upright. Because when you first start out and you come out of the blocks, running that 100-meter dash, when you come up, you have to have an upright stride. And as you're digging, you're going forward because you're trying to cover ground. So let's go to the degrees of freedom. I'm going to apply pressure right here to her trunk. And what should release first, once I let go, her trunk muscles, I'm right here on the pecs, the deltoids, but her trunk should release forward because it's a resistive type movement. So here we go. Ready and go. Go. Drive, 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 drive. Head up and go. Okay, so you see I let go when she was unexpected, and that pushed her really forward fast. So we're gonna come back. Pressure here. Form technique. Remember, hip, lip, hip, lip. Quick movements with your hip, high knees. Good. Ready and go. Push, drive, push, drive, hip, lip, drive, 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 drive. All right, good. So I'm a little winded, but that's okay. Okay, so she came through. She had a little bit more forward posture. I think at the end she lost some of her technique, but we have to keep working on that. So I think we'll do one more hip skip, high knees, A skip, down and back. So drive, ready, and go. Form, slow down a little bit. Good, work on technique. Slow down, good, 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 good. Breathe. Good, almost perfect, almost perfect. So that was really, really good. So we slowed it down a little bit because as we started to get faster, she started to lose more of her technique, especially with the hip drive. Her hips were not as high on the previous one. This one was pretty good because she was able to slow down. So she's getting a little warm out here working. So here we go. So I'm gonna apply my pressure here and slowly but drive. Arm technique. So arms at 90, hip, lip, no. Look, hip, there you go, lip, hip, lip, good. So, ready, set, and go. Slow, down, good. High knees, hip, hip, lip, good, 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 good. Release, go, go through. Okay. So now, we're gonna let her run a full sprint and see if she can incorporate that A cross, but at a higher level of speed. And if she can, we're gonna incorporate one more exercise to see if that would help improve. So, all right, so let's go down and back on 3. So, ready, set, and go. Okay. Okay, so her posture, definitely her arm, her reciprocal movement in arm, it's much better, and it'll be better transfer from just in this regular practice, which is pretty much a block practice, and if you incorporate random practice or not random running drills, but her form and technique in sprinting is what we're trying to work against. So let's try one more thing. So this is kind of a A skip is here, so let's try a B skip. So with B skip, you're gonna come up, out, up and out. So let me try it here. I didn't want to kick you. So this is the A skip. Remember, A, high knees. So with the B skip, up, out, up, out, up, out, up, out, up, out. And you want to make sure your toes are pointed back. When you come out here and you release, you're trying to cover ground and get somewhere. So let's try that move one time. Ready? And go. Let's go slowly. Up. Nope. So let's try it again. Hold on. So let's do it right here. Walk through this one. Up. Out. Forward. Good. Same thing. Up. Out. Forward. Good. Up. Out. Forward. Good. Up. Out. Good. Up. Out. 90 degrees with your arms. Good. Up. Out. Good. Up. Out. Good. Up. Out. And good. So now, let's try half a speed, Just pick it up a little bit. So, ready, set, and go. Up, out, up, out. Good, out, up. Stay off your toes. Make sure you try to stay on the ball of your foot. So go up, out, up, out. Okay, a little bit better, but she's kind of off balance. Could you tell that you were off balance? Okay, So that's called proprioception. Proprioception is when any part of your body moves through space, any movement, and you're able to tell what your limbs are doing, whether your eyes are open and closed. Okay, so when you notice that you're off balance, that means you have a proprioceptive deficit. So let's try one more full sprint, and let's see how you do. Ready, set, and go. Okay, I appreciate you. I want to thank Brandi because form and technique was much better. Great listener, great learner, but her technique was much better than it was to start off with. Her trunk was upright, her core was good. And this has been Brandi Barkum with sprinting as my goal. We covered knowledge of results, knowledge of performance, proprioception, and degrees of freedom of freezing the muscle group, and also telling you how the muscle was released as soon as the muscle was released. Thank you. Have a good day.